My 29F partner, 32M, is taking me on my dream honeymoon but funded it unethically. I'm in a situation with my partner, Alex, that has left me feeling a mix of emotions. And I could use some guidance on how to navigate this. Alex has recently won a significant amount of money from online gambling. While he was initially just spending an evening a week on this hobby, it's now resulted in him winning enough to fund a luxurious honeymoon for us. He's excitedly planned a trip to the Maldives, which includes a first-class flight, an overwater bungalow with a private pool, and a sunset yacht cruise, costing about $60,000. I could never afford this. I'm finding myself torn. On one hand, the idea of this dream vacation is incredibly exciting. On the other hand, I feel uneasy about the source of the funding. Alex has promised to be more responsible with gambling in the future and has a track record of keeping his word. He's never had issues with addiction or breaking promises. I need advice on how to approach my mixed feelings. Specifically, I'm looking for ways to address my unease without dampening the excitement of the trip. How can I process these emotions in a healthy way? Are there any strategies or conversations we should have to ensure a balanced perspective on this unexpected windfall? Any suggestions on how to navigate this situation would be very helpful. Thank you. TLDR. Husband funded our dream honeymoon with his gambling winnings. And I'm struggling with how to reconcile my excitement with my unease about the money's source. I think dropping $60K on a vacation is insanity. But whatever. Maybe you too are from the millionaire lifestyle. What if he put this money towards mortgage or kids? Would you still feel it was unethical? I feel like what the money is spent on doesn't matter. If you take issue with him gambling that much money, that is what you talk about, not how earnings are spent. I do think it also matters. What kind of gambling are we talking about? Poker, blackjack, roulette, slots, baccarat. How is legitimately winning in legitimate casinos, sources, unethical? Did he hurt someone to get the money? Did he steal or cheat? Is he betting on like human death fights? What exactly makes it unethical? My initial concern would be, is the money set aside for the trip safe? If he got lucky and was just having fun, that's one thing. But if it's becoming a gambling addiction, it would be smart to put that money out of his hands until the trip is over. A friend of mine had a job in college, online poker and blackjack. Basically for 6 years he did that outside of school and it funded his life. After graduating he stopped, except for the occasional trip to Vegas every few years. That was 16-ish years ago. On the other hand, you can go over to our blackjack and read plenty of stories of people getting cheated by online casinos because a lot of them operate outside of the US gaming law's jurisdiction. Are you having an issue because you believe the money was obtained through cheating or some illegal activity? Or because you personally disapprove of gambling? Or are you worried that, while it may be legal and harmless right now, that gambling points to a deficiency in character that may cause problems down the road? Gambling isn't unethical, but it can certainly lead to a nasty addition to it. But gambling in itself isn't unethical, lol. However, I am really struggling to understand how this trip is costing $60,000. As someone who has been to the Maldives and is due to go again this year, I say go. Park your feelings and embrace what could be a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Just enjoy this once-on-a-lifetime trip. How is this unethical? Quit flogging yourself unnecessarily. You seem to be conjuring up a problem that doesn't really exist or matter. Go on the trip guilt-free. After reading the thread title, I thought it would be something more interesting and illegal. Lol. He gambled and won. How is this an issue? Stop picking random things to take a stand on. Most things can be linked to something sinister. Clothing to sweatshops. Jewelry to slave labor. Whatever. The point is, don't think about it. What are you gonna do? Say no? 'Cause it's unethical. Eyes. Stop. Open mouth smile. If he is not gambling away savings and is responsible, then this is not a big deal at all. I would spend $60K on other stuff than a vacation, but that is just me. You guys go have fun. There's nothing unethical about gambling as long as there's not some addiction component or he's gambling away money for bills and rent. I think he shouldn't be spending that much on a vacation. And invest at least half of it. But hey, it's his money and he can do what he wants with it. Well, you are not correct about that. I've never been a professional poker player. In the sense I've always had a job. But I played several million hands online over around 20 years and made good money from what is a hobby to me. Whether your BF is genuinely a winning player in terms of true expectation, I don't know, but saying that you can't gamble without major issues is like saying you can't drink without being an alcoholic. I'd be more concerned about spending that much on a holiday regardless of where it came from, tbh. Personally, I'd feel too much pressure to have fun if I knew it cost that much. I don't really understand or see the problem here. He got it legally. When I clicked on the title, I thought you were going to say something like, oh, he was selling drugs. Or maybe even something worse, but this is normal. My dad gambles and he wins a lot. There's nothing wrong with it. Unless it's an addiction. And he continuously loses and spends all the money. What makes poker unethical? You're allowed to have your beliefs, but it's not universally immoral to gamble. Poker is a game of skill. Just be grateful he's not a horse racing addict or a faithful lottery player. Enjoy your honeymoon. And while you're allowed to ask that he be careful in gambling, just remember you don't have the right to ban him from poker unless it becomes a legitimate issue. I wish I played poker well enough to win $60,000. I thought you were going to say selling drugs. Gambling is legal. I'll go if you don't want to. So he didn't steal it? I don't see how it's unethical at all. I could understand concerns for stability if he was quitting his job to do it full-time or something. Sounds like he's just made some money at his hobby and is sharing the windfall with you. Nothing is unethical here, lol. Personally, I would never spend that amount of money on a single trip like that because it's just... Anyway, just enjoy the trip and don't worry about it, FFS. Stay home and have him take me 41 meters instead. Did he really win $60K over online gambling?
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epicaricast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.